Strovia. All right, hey, welcome to Fantasy Sports Addicts Anonymous. We're very excited. My name is Tom. I'm a Fantasy Sports Addict. This thirsty guy over here.
I'm Ryan. Thirsty guy Ryan.
He's a Fantasy Sports Addict.
Yes, I am.
Like we said, we're excited. Today is, well, it's Friday before the start of the baseball season, so we're doing our Dynasty, our home Dynasty League redrafts every year. You know, it's a keeper/dynasty setup that we do.
Not redraft, but the
prospects
draft.
Yeah. Every year we have 6 rounds, and, you know, these leagues have been going, I don't know, 8 years now, something like pretty long time in keeper format. So we thought, let's show maybe there's commissioners out there who have never done a keeper league, who have never, maybe that you drafted year 1 this year, and you're like, well, I don't know what to do next year.
And let's be honest, the like Yahoo Keeper League help tool, commissioner tool, like it's not very useful.
Well, and you don't even know where it is sometimes. You know, it's hard to navigate, and especially if you're new to the format, or either on Yahoo or ESPN. We happen to be on Yahoo, so that's what we're going to show you today. But we're excited. We finally got everybody to submit their keepers. Sometimes it's a process. If you're doing a keeper league, maybe you keep 8 players, 10 players. I mean, there's all kinds of different formats. Sometimes, like in a true dynasty, you don't keep – well, you keep all your players, right? We're like a hybrid. We keep 20 players out of 26. So every year we draft 6 rounds to replenish our rosters and get prospects and all that sort of thing. So what we're going to show you today is how to approve and set all the keepers, get ready for your draft. Our draft's coming up in a couple hours today. So thankfully, and all right, the reason why we're kind of leaving this last minute, we had to replace a manager at the very last second. And sometimes this happens. If you've got one of these leagues where all of a sudden somebody's lazy and you've been out like after them for days to set their keepers and they keep dragging their feet and
not responding to your emails,
you got to replace them because that draft's coming up and you don't want to replace somebody after the draft. They're never going to want to take over that team. So what we're doing is we got our new manager. You know, one more day to select your keepers. Let's take a look at it. So we're going to go in right now. We're going to show you a couple of things. We also do preseason draft pick trades, and we keep track of all this in a spreadsheet. So we'll show you that too. But first thing we're going to do, let me show you what the keepers actually look like. Right now, I'm pulling it up. Bear with me. Okay, so here's my confirmed keeper players.
Wait, go to the main page and show even how to get to
it. Okay, all right, let's do that. So we're going here. We're going to my league page. We'll show you again twice just to make sure you got adequate coverage. Okay, here we are. So we are going to my page, my league, which is the League of Evil. It's in its 12th season. Okay. Hopefully you can see that. There we are, League of Evil 12. What we're going to do here is, okay, so here's everybody. Here's all the teams. And up here at the top for Yahoo, it says, now, granted, we don't know what's going on in ESPN. We've never done Keeper League on ESPN, I don't think. I haven't anyways. But you got this little, like, notification. Only a few days left. Make sure you get your draft done, blah, blah, blah. Keeper deadline has passed. Please review and approve manager selections. So, okay, simple enough. You click the link, bam, review and approve. Okay, so it shows here's all of our teams, you know, all 12 teams.
And you may notice some teams are dropping more players than others. That's because, you know, within our normal 26, there's also 3 DL, 3 NA. So, like, you can have a total of 29 players on your roster.
Yeah.
And so, and then also
trades, the preseason
trades.
Too.
Yeah, we allow preseason trades in our leagues. It's a lot more work for us, but it makes it a lot better because, you know, the lesser teams or teams that need more help, they can get more players or good players from managers that are dropping really good players.
Right. Like, see, all right, so here's all the non-keepers. It tells you basically what you're going to want to do is if you keep 8, make sure everybody saves 8 players. You have to go through, count them all manually. Like, here's my team, 1. Okay, so I counted. I got 20. There's my 20. Everybody's got 20. Ryan's got 20. Nathan has 20. Everybody has their 20. And so sometimes you're dropping a different number. Like me, I made a lot of trades. I'm not dropping that many players. So now it's all set. I mean, everybody saved their 20, and now it's pretty simple. You just hit approve all keepers. Okay, and so this is now we edit the draft order. We'll maybe go back to that in a minute, but this is where you set your basic order. Okay, since we have a custom order based on last year's standings, we're going to import traded picks, right?
Yep.
So that'll even save us a step, but we also do snake. Sometimes you do non-snake. For basketball, we do a non-snaking draft. Baseball, we keep with the snake. This is also all right. Keeper
this
placement.
Is very important, actually. You got to decide this. Like, okay, first year we're doing we're going to do a dynasty league.
Okay.
And you got to decide right away whether or not the keepers are going to be at the end or the beginning, because it determines on which draft picks get traded.
Right. And to keep it simple for yourself, we say put all your keepers at the ass end of the draft. That way it's more natural. It makes more sense.
I'm going to trade you a first-round pick.
A first-round pick.
A 21st round pick.
Right. Keeps it much simpler
and last
for you
thing
and the other
for
manager.
A commissioner, you don't want to have people trading a first round and a 21st and deciding on which one it goes. Like, that's just a pain in the ass.
So that's where you select this here in the keeper placement. So what we do, obviously, we do ours at the final rounds. Keeper placement, final rounds.
Now, custom, I don't even know why the hell you would do that.
It probably depends on if you have one of those leagues where you keep somewhere like 8 to 13 type of player. You know, we don't do that. It's too complicated for us. We're too old for that. So, yeah, this is where, all right, so we're going to import the traded picks. We've got our custom order, which we're going to.
Well, I mean, we got to go ahead and set that now.
Okay. Well, so here's where we switch over to our draft spreadsheet. Now, this is my league, League of Evil 12. And here we go. Here's the spreadsheet. This is the most handy, helpful tool you can come up with as a commissioner. It does look a little bit complicated. I will explain it to you as we go here. But we have this spreadsheet gives us access to the rankings. So basically, again, our draft order is determined in reverse of how you finish the previous season. So here's the order of how everybody finished. Bloody Sock, that's Joe. He came in first. So he's picking last, 12. So this is our core order right here. So this is what we're going to use to determine the average, average round. So anytime you want to start one of these spreadsheets, start with however you finish, or at least if you're doing it the way we do. So put everybody in order based on how they finished, and then you go in reverse of that for the core order of your draft. And then you can just copy and paste. Like where we're doing the snaking, I just take our base order here, paste it into round 1, round 3, and round 5. Then I take the reverse order, copy and paste that into the even rounds, round 2, round 4, round 6.
Okay, that makes it easy.
So now the core order of our draft is set, basic order. Then I make a little note here, red. I manually go through and find the picks that were traded last season, and I just make notes here, okay? And then, as you know, in Yahoo and anybody else, ESPN, when you trade draft picks, you have to trade even numbers of picks. So, we just make sure, okay, these red picks, those are traded last year, and then blue is stuff that's been traded preseason. Now, to keep track of all that, we come down here. I just tend to write it out so I get the basic gist of who traded what. And then I post a link to where the trades were made on the message board. When you make a preseason trade, you post to the message board, so-and-so trades so-and-so, and then the other manager goes onto the message board and says, yes, I accept. I want that trade. And we can even trade picks for next season as well. So we keep track of those with green. So in case, we have 2017 picks.
Now, we don't allow more than the
this year,
2 season. Yeah.
It's too complicated other than that. These green picks, this makes it easy for us to keep track. Okay, after the draft tonight, we're going to go through and make sure these 2 teams trade their picks.
Right.
Because those are this year picks at that point, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
they would go from green to blue or whatever.
Right.
And looking at the spreadsheet, you can see there's quite a bit of blue in there. So
a lot of
we've had a decent amount of preseason trades.
So, but the main thing is, right, since we're keeping 20 players and redrafting 6, the main thing you're going to want to make sure is like from rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, everybody in here should have no more and no less than 6.
That's a good feel safe. Like if they don't, you did something wrong.
Right. Let's go. Let's find, just as an example here, Woot. Woot very rarely will find. Let's look for Woot. Okay. Woot doesn't trade a lot of picks very often. So we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Perfect. Woot's got all 6 of his picks. Good.
And none of them have been traded.
Which is pretty standard. Okay. So now we can go back over here to our draft order. And we'll just, maybe I'll skip that process. I don't know. Well, all right.
No, just you got to do it.
Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to pull up separate windows. Hopefully it shows.
If not, you can just see us doing it. It's not the end of the world. Basically, we're just setting the draft order.
Right. So, okay, so this is this is the order. I'm going to queue up. You know what? Here's what I'm going to show you. I'm showing you the wrong window. Hang on. Bear with me. Trying to keep this simple for everybody here. Okay. That's the one we want. We want to edit draft order and assign the picks. So now you can see that. Now you can see what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to follow off the spreadsheet that you saw, and I'm just going to put everybody in order. So we have this. Okay, order. What's the core order? Crooks is first. Moving Crooks up to 1, right?
Yep.
Then we got Natty. Natty's picking second. Boom. Right, Woot's picking third. Move him up. Boop. And J Money Smooth. Another video brought to you by J Money Smooth. And then Joe Buck Yourself. Now this is where teams have been replaced and team names have been changed. But we know that's actually Andrew from Fantasy Aid. He's Rebuild 2.0. He changed his team name, but I can keep track of that. That's pretty simple for me. And then the Bucks starts here. Well, that used to be Nathan's team name, but he's changed it to Addy Boy because he's got Addison Russell and he's a Cubs fan.
Addy Boy it is.
Addy Boy.
See, again, I already am lost. I don't know who.
You don't know who's where now?
Nah.
Which team? Okay. Well, so we've got our first 6. We've made it through 6. And then 7th pick, that's me. I changed my team name again. I was Rumham. Now I'm Lord Business. Okay. Now we got TNT Dynamite right after me. Then you are Isotopes. That's you, Ryan, right?
Yep.
And then what used to be Bo Sucks, another replacement. And then Flash. And then Joe, who won the league. So there we go. Sock, Flash, Sucks, Topes, Dynamite, me, Nathan, Andrew, J Money, Woot, Natty, and then, of course, Tom Stopa. Perfect. All right. Perfect. Okay. Continue. Now, here's where for rounds 1 through 6, right? This little thing, this pick counter right here, this will help you keep track of who is maybe missing a pick or who needs to have a pick shuffled around. But we're all keeping 20. It's moved the 20 players into round 7. See, this is where the players start getting assigned, okay? And Yahoo just automatically sorts those players and puts them onto the appropriate rosters for us. And so again, we're only concerned with rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Right.
So now that we've had all these traded picks, we're going to come back to our spreadsheet and follow round 1. And I do wish I could show you both windows at the same time just so you know what I'm going off of. I will flip back over to the spreadsheet just for you real quick.
Okay.
So you can get a quick look at it again. All right, so here's my draft spreadsheet. Now I'm going to go through for the 6 rounds and
make the adjustments.
And this is important. All right, before we go any further, don't adjust your draft order. I don't know how it works for ESPN, but in Yahoo, do not adjust your draft order until you finalize the keepers. If you do that, you will manually have to enter every single player.
It's a pain
team.
in the ass. It was something that, like, even last year, I think I had to fucking put in everybody all at once.
It goes on. Like, yeah, it happens. You make these mistakes. You're like, oh, what did I do? I have to manually edit everybody's.
Why didn't it import the keepers?
So do yourself a favor.
Trying to stay on top of it. Okay, I got the draft order. Everything's good. But then you go and import keepers, and it's like, well, the draft doesn't equal what we have. So it's just like, no, I'm not doing anything.
So if you have preseason trades in your league and there's draft picks involved, don't manually enter those until after you approve the keepers, okay? We cannot stress that enough. Because now all the players are already put where they belong. All I have to do is change the 6th round.
Because let's say you were waiting for, like, today where we're drafting in 2-3 hours, whatever.
You're fucked.
Like, it's not easy to go through and manually
put at all.
What is it, like 250 players, 20 times 12, whatever that is.
We don't do math.
240, I think.
That's math. I don't know. So back to the spreadsheet real quick. Now you have an idea again, just real quick, presenting. This is my league. Yeah, there you go. There's the 6th round. So all I'm going to do is just copy and paste. I mean, it's not even actually a copy and paste process. I wish it was that simple.
That would be sweet.
But all I have to do is follow along. So I'm just going to scoot that over, scooting it over to the left side of my screen. So
it'd be cool if we were really, like, tech savvy and we had a script that, like, manually did it for us.
That would be nice. I don't know if we have that. But,
no, we definitely don't.
So I'll go back to now the commissioner tools here.
So we're just looking off of our
spreadsheet
and going through. And
this is why the spreadsheet's very important. I highly recommend this as a tool for commissioners in dynasty leagues or keeper leagues. So, okay, here we are. Round 1. What are we going to do? First things first, I'm throwing that down into the minimize so I can make sure I'm on the right page and keeping up with the right things.
Okay, right. So the first one.
First thing, we got Crooks, Natty, Woot. All right, so now we've got Nathan. Nathan made like a whole bunch of trades to get a bunch of first-round picks. And since his team used to be the Buck starts here, I've got to remember he's Addy Boy. So I'm going to put in 3 Addy Boys in a row because that is basically what's going on here. He has 3 picks in the first round. And do I have them all here?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we're halfway through the first round already. Now we got J Money, who is got my pick. And apparently I also acquired an additional first pick after I lost a pick. So there's me, and then we got Natty again. And let's see.
Bo Sox, Flash, and J Money Smooth.
Okay, so it did. All right, that's the other thing. It did import the red picks from last season. So that made it nice and simple. Okay, now I'm ready to move on to round 2. And slide my window over so I can keep track of just like a little ruler thing. Round 2 is back to Nathan, Addy Boy, Flash, Bo Sucks, Springfield, Bronson with his dynamite. Okay, and then I traded another pick. I traded my second round pick, so that's going to J Money. Nice. Okay, set that there. Then we got a Natty from last year and a Joe Buck, J Money. Remember, Andrew is rebuild. He's not Joe Buck anymore. So then J Money, Woot, Natty, and Crooks. Okay, so that was pretty simple. Round 3. And I'll just keep sliding my screen over so I can use it like a ruler. Keep track of where I'm at. Booyah. Okay. All right, Crooks again. All right, now we got J Money. This is a pick that got traded this preseason. Woot's where he belongs. And Addy's got another pick here from a trade in the preseason. Andrew's pick.
So Nathan, Addy Boy, he sure was aggressive, getting as many early picks as he could.
He sure was, which is fine. I mean, that's all right. So Crooks, that's a last year pick. Dynamite.
If you notice, like, oh, now I finally have a pick.
Right. Ryan moves all of his draft picks. Round 4. Okay. See, this is moving along really quickly thanks to that spreadsheet. All right. And so this is going to stay basically, at this point, most of these picks are going to stay about how they should be. Sock, Flash, Bo Sucks, Isotopes, that's you, Dynamite. Okay, now here's where I get my picks back from my preseason trades. Actually, this one goes to Stopa. This one goes to, where'd you go? Crooks. Okay, and then this one goes to Joe. Rebuild stays the same. This one's mine. There goes mine. Lord Business. Woot's back where he belongs. You're right where you belong. And there's another Stopa. All right, round 5. I mean, this is just flying along smooth as butter because of this spreadsheet.
Only 2 more rounds left, and we're already almost done.
Business, Sock. Those are last year trades. Woot. Okay, here's my follow-up pick to my J-Money. Is giving me his pick here because of the first and second round picks I gave him earlier. Back to Rebuild and Nathan. And here's a Bronson. Where'd he go? TNT.
Dynamite.
Another TNT, which is from last year. Okay, all the rest of that is exactly the same. These are natural, normal order picks. Sweet. Okay, now we're into round 6. So it's moving along real quick. Okay, round 6 is basically, this should be exactly, since there's only picks from last season, everything should be imported the way we want. Sock, Flash, Sucks, Topes, TNT, Lord Business, which, yep, that's me. Joe Buck, J Money, Woot, Sock, me. Okay. Hey, what do you know? Okay, so that's, everybody should be where they're at. Now, let's go look.
26.
Oh my God, 26 and 20. So that's perfect. That means nobody's missing a pick. Nobody's over on picks. Perfect. Okay, guess what? We're done. We're done. Submit. Bam. Okay. We're all set. That's it. That's as simple as it gets. I mean.
And now, so we're all ready for drafts. And like, actually, if you go to the players tab right now.
Players. Now everybody can go.
And see take a look. Okay,
who's
so
in the free agent pool?
100 pins, since you chew, are the 2 highest ranked players that were not keepers.
Right.
100 pins, like, okay, maybe he's a little questionable, but not bad.
No, so there's, now you have an idea if you are looking to see who you're going to draft later on, or who you want to plan on maybe picking. You can see who's in the free agent pool.
Like, oh shit, I need a second baseman, DJ LeMahieu. Hopefully he's there for me.
Right. So now, all right. So now your league's fat and happy. Everybody's all set. Like my league is ready to draft. So hopefully that was helpful. We don't probably need to go through and show you Ryan's league.
No, we'll do that, but we don't need to go off and show it. Let's just wrap this up again. If you have any questions, commissioner questions, both of us have been commissioners in Dynasty leagues for a very long time, and more than one league, like we co-commish to help each other out, which is
always nice.
Another thing to we recommend.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because again, like I'm working, like I had a real busy day at work yesterday. There's a lot of shit I couldn't do or handle, and like we had to push back. So having somebody who's like, hey, I can hop on there and process some of this shit, and these trades that are hanging out, or this manager needs to be replaced, like have a solid co-commish.
Can't stress that enough as well. So again, things to remember. Okay, make sure before you start your keeper league and your dynasty league, make sure the expectation is set. How many players are being kept from year to year? Okay, just make sure everybody knows in advance.
And like don't have a draft and like, hey, yeah, let's go ahead and try to do a keeper league or a dynasty league. No,
it's too late.
You got to do that before the draft. If you draft and then everybody decides, fuck it, just hit the reset and do a fresh draft, because I know I draft a hell of a lot differently if I'm drafting for a dynasty or a keeper league.
Right. Well, and there's also a difference between keeper and dynasty too. I mean, in our deeper leagues, which are more of a dynasty, again, you're going to keep a lot more players, but maybe in a keeper league where you only keep 8 guys, you're probably not as youth oriented. You're not going to be like flipping out, going for prospects probably.
Absolutely. And another thing we actually recommend is doing a league with all the managers once before you decide to do it, especially a dynasty league. It's like, hey, yeah, we want to do it, but we're not 100% sure that all the managers are going to stick around.
Is the chemistry
like, you got to have that foundation for a dynasty league. You're trying to build something that's going to be going on for 8, 9, 10 years. And let's be honest, you want as little managerial turnover as possible. So, like, do a league with everybody once as a redraft league before you switch to a keeper or dynasty. Like, don't be like, oh, I want to do a dynasty, like 2 buddies, and put the league out there, publish it, and get a bunch of people you don't know.
Yeah, that's never
like,
a good idea.
You know, because it sucks when you go into a league expecting it to be a dynasty and it just fails.
We've all been in those leagues, unfortunately. But yeah, that's how you do the commissioning management stuff for a dynasty league draft, a keeper league draft. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. If you have any other commish related questions or management questions, we're always here for you.
Hit us up. Check out our website, fantasysportsaddicts.com. We're always on there with our community of fellow addicts.
And you can reach us on Twitter at letter F, letter S, the word double, letter A, at FSAA.
And for the love of God, subscribe to our iTunes podcast, leave a review, and give us a thumbs up. Just go back through all of our videos and just give us thumbs up.
Also, Ryan's beer is getting a little light over here. You probably ought to hit that donate button if we're giving out useful advice.
No touching.
He's running out. See,
no touching.
He's getting feisty. Fill him up. Buy him a new beer. All right, fantasy gods.
Woo!
Please grant me the serenity to set my ideal lineup, courage to add drop aggressively, wisdom,
as always,
make good trades.
Amen.
All right. You guys have a good season. If you have any questions, feel free to hit us up. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.
Beep.